Hello, this is Brian, and the third episode of our journey to England and Wales in 2025. Today, we're going to be leaving the city of Tonbridge in Kent and traveling to Salisbury, where we will be meeting up with cousins whom I have never met for lunch. After exploring the grounds of the cathedral and the cathedral itself, we will be traveling on to Pucklechurch, a little village just outside of Bristol, where we are spending 2 nights. And from there, we will be exploring the ancient city of Bath in Somerset. I do hope you will join us, and thank you for coming along. And our next step is going to be in Salisbury, where we're meeting cousins for lunch at the Cosy Club. We hope also to have a look in Salisbury Cathedral, where one of the 4 copies of the original Magna Carta signed in 1215 is stored. Well, we're about 15 miles from Salisbury.
Yeah.
And I'm recording this message.
Oh, sorry. You need to say
You
it.
gotta say, tape is rolling.
Yeah, like you need a little.
First gear is very short. That's all I will say.
After Stephanie drove a couple of hours from Tonbridge to Salisbury, we found a parking spot in the Old George Mall, walked a short distance along New Street to the Cosy Club, where we had plans for lunch. Well, I had not met Jeff and his wife Nicole and Gary, my second cousins, and Jack, my third cousin, Gary's son, until I started doing research into the family on Ancestry. So we had a very nice lunch, and it was as though we had always known one another. We're in Salisbury. We just had a beautiful lunch with our cousins, and here's the Salisbury Cathedral. There's a copy of the Magna Carta, signed in 1215. We're having a beautiful day. There was a church service on when we went into the cathedral, so the Magna Carta room was closed and we weren't able to photograph inside. But I surreptitiously recorded some of the beautiful music. We were having such a nice walk back. It was cooling off nicely, and we completely lost track of time because we had planned to go to Stonehenge, so we knew we'd be out of the car park before it closed at 5 o'clock. Alas, we did not, and we came back to this. We thought we were scuppered. We could not see a phone number or an email address on the sign anywhere, and it was Sunday night, and Monday was a bank holiday. So we thought we were going to have to phone Jeff and bunk down on his floor for a couple of nights until we could get our car out on Tuesday morning. But Stephanie noticed a pub across the street from the mall, and lo and behold, the publican had a phone number for security. This must have happened before. And we called security, and he agreed to meet us at 7 p.m. in about an hour. So what did we do? We went to the pub. At 7 o'clock, we bailed out our car, and miraculously, they just charged us £2 for the parking. I took over the driving, and it was about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours from Salisbury to Pucklechurch, which is just outside of Bristol. We had to pass through Bath at the time, but it was just starting to get dark as we arrived in Pucklechurch. So the pictures I have here are from the interior or the next day. Curiously, this is another annex, this time the chapel annex, with our hosts John and Sally living next door in the converted chapel. John did all of the construction and finishings, where Sally did all of the interior design and decorating. In the morning, we awoke to glorious sunshine and, again, no rain, which is unheard of in this area. And our plan is to go to Bath. On the way, we're going to be stopping at a place called the Old Hundred. And we're going to try to find the house that Steph's sister Jackie lived in for a time during the 90s.
We're here in a beautiful neighborhood where my sister Jackie lived in the 90s. And we're just trying to look for her home.
It's gorgeous.
I
It's
know
kind
the
of taking
neighborhood
her.
is kind of shabby, but it is actually stunningly beautiful and idyllic.
And it's kind of taking our breath away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're in the village of Tormarton, and this area is known as the 100,
The Old Hundred.
the Old 100. So you can see on the wall there, it says, maybe you can't see it. Beautiful ivy. And this is the granary. So this is a beautiful spot. We're in Gloucestershire on our way to the historic town of Bath with its Roman baths and the crescent. As I say, we haven't had any rain in the 4 days that we've been here. It's just fantastic. We carried on and arrived in Bath eventually. It being the Monday long weekend of the August bank holiday, the roads were chock-a-block. Downtown Bath was chock-a-block. It was very difficult to find a suitable place to park the car within easy walking distance of the downtown. And when we got downtown, there were just hordes of people everywhere. But we persevered. We had a good look around, and we decided to have lunch at Sally Lunn's. Now, I don't know the story about Sally Lunn, but Stephanie says that they sell Sally Lunn bread in New Zealand, and her house in Bath is the oldest house in the city, 1400 and something. After we had had our lunch at Sally Lunn's, we decided to go to the modern day spa with the same thermal waters discovered by the Romans in the year 50. It's just unbelievable to think about that. One of the things at the baths that we saw, all three of us were astounded to see disembodied cheeks floating by. You're not allowed cameras there for obvious reasons. They actually have these lockable pouches that everybody had to put their phones into, and that was interesting. So we had, I think, about 2.5 hours at the spa before heading to our next stop. We left Bath by the most circuitous route to Frenchay Common, where we met Robin and Debbie for dinner at the White Lion Inn. Robin is an old friend of Jackie and Stephanie's. Because the council wouldn't let us park on the lawn all night, we headed back to Pucklechurch, only 15 minutes away. Well, we just spent 2 nights in the beautiful village of Pucklechurch in Gloucester, very close to Bristol. Actually, it's between Bristol and Bath, and right next door is a pub which we actually haven't been to yet. But it's a beautiful place. Highly recommend this. And they have a washing machine. We discovered that it wasn't a combination dryer. So this morning we've got all our unmentionables on the rack to dry. Fans going. So here is a view of the lounge and kitchen area. Beautifully appointed. And I'm just going to walk into my bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And welcome to my bedroom. Hasn't been made yet. We're checking out in an hour. But it's quite spacious and with an opening window. After our early checkout this morning, we went around the corner to the old dairy restaurant for breakfast, and what a breakfast it was. Now we're all set to head to Cornwall. If you like what you see on my videos and would like to travel along with me on my journeys, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel.